Norman and Beatrice by Barbara Hammond. January. The kitchen of a modest Midwestern house. Norman, 85, is standing alone in the living room. He's wearing a coat, hat, and gloves. Beatrice, 80, enters from basement. She carries a laundry basket, so worn it has scraps of cloth tying the torn plastic together. She is humming softly.
Let's go.
Where are we going?
They're waiting for us.
Who's waiting?
You made the arrangements. I can't believe this. What kind of outfit are you running here?
I don't want to drive in this weather.
So we're not going?
I think it will be fine if we have lunch first.
What will they say?
Are you hungry?
Not especially.
Well, lunch will be ready in a flash.
She works at the stove. He goes to the back window, looks out.
Is it time to go?
Let's have lunch first.
Okay.
He walks towards her and puts his arms out for a hug.
Oh!
He stands his ground.
What do you want?
He puckers up. He holds his arms out further.
If you want something to eat, I'm going to have to keep my hands free.
He doesn't move. Neither does she.
Why don't you take off your coat?
Do we have time?
Sure.
Won't we be late?
They won't mind.
Maybe you should call.
Whom?
Well, what's his name?
After we eat.
Okay.
He hangs up his coat, puts the gloves in the coat pocket, but leaves his hat on. He sits down to eat.
Next time we make the world, we should put everything in the same place so we don't have to drive.
She ties an apron around his neck, removes his hat. He sees a cup in front of him, takes a sip.
There's nothing in there yet.
Tastes pretty good.
You're a cheap date. Want some hot tea?
Sure.
She pours tea into his cup. He lifts it to drink.
Don't scald yourself.
He freezes.
Let it cool down first.
Till it's lukewarm?
You don't want to burn your tongue, do you?
Not particularly. Do you have our tickets?
Which ones, dear?
How are we going to get there without them?
Where are we going?
Rome.
Oh.
They're waiting for us.
He gives her a kiss.
I'll be back in an hour.
Is that so?
I have an appointment with the sisters.
Really?
They didn't tell you?
Maybe they forgot.
Staggering.
What?
How anything gets done around here with this kind of communication.
Did they tell you?
Of course. You thought it all up. You and the sisters.
Thought up what?
The trip to the Vatican and the Holy Land.
Do you think we may have canceled it because of the bad weather?
What?
The bad weather. Do you think we may have canceled it because of that?
Could be. I wasn't informed.
A timer dings.
Lunch.
Shouldn't we be at Mass?
Oh, we couldn't go this morning.
Why not?
I don't like to drive in the snow.
Well, I'll drive.
Mass is over.
It's over?
Yes.
Uh,
Is that okay?
sure, I thought it would never be over.
He looks out the window again.
Where's my car?
Your grandson uses it for his job delivering pizzas after school.
How does that line of work suit him?
Keeps him out of trouble.
Oh, what about when I need a vehicle?
Oh, you don't drive anymore, Norman.
I don't?
No.
My eyes aren't so good.
Well, that's a nuisance, isn't it?
I'll say.
She dishes him out a bowl of soup. He goes to drink the tea.
Blow on it.
Are you trying to poison me?
Now, why would I poison you?
That's how you'd get away with it. No motive.
He sips his tea, ignores his food. She eats but watches him.
Aren't you going to try your sandwich?
Is there mustard on it?
Would you like mustard?
Yes, please.
She gets up, gets the mustard out of the refrigerator, takes the lid off, and hands it to him. He looks at it.
Now take some out of the jar with the knife and spread it on the bread.
Well, that's what I was about to do. You read my mind.
After 53 years, you don't think I can read your mind?
He still hasn't touched his food.
Do you like your soup?
Did I have soup?
It's right in front of you.
Well, what do you know? So it is.
Are you tired?
Is it bedtime?
It's noontime.
Nap time?
Lunchtime.
The phone rings.
Oh, now I wonder who's calling us.
If it's the Academy, tell them I decline.
Is that all?
And thank them very much for thinking of me.
On the next ring, B answers.
Hello? Oh, Anne, at this hour? It's much cheaper after 7 o'clock. Yes, he's fine. He's right here. We're just having lunch. Norman, Anne's on the phone.
He puts his ear to the phone.
Say hello.
Hello? Who is it?
It's our Anne.
Where are you, Anne? California? Are you hungry? Why didn't you come over and have a bite to eat? Oh, I see. Atta girl.
B busies herself in the kitchen. Norman still holds the phone and nods his responses. She takes the phone from him.
Anne? He was nodding and smiling, but our lunch is getting cold and I don't want to have to reheat. Okay, bye.
She hangs up the phone.
Well, what did she have to say for herself?
She said it's warm and sunny in San Francisco.
Anything else?
She's published another paper.
Oh, on what?
Some class of economics.
And why did she call?
Well, for advice.
Oh.
I told her to keep chipping away. One chip at a time. I wonder if she has a fella. She should get married.
Young people don't run off and get married like we did.
We didn't run off, did we?
You know, doing everything without thinking.
I don't know about you, but I put a hell of a lot of thought into this.
He gets a plate, cup, and utensils for the table.
Don't tell me you haven't been thinking all this time.
What's that you're doing?
Was setting a place for her.
Did she say she was coming?
Why, yes, she did. And she's bringing Peter.
She is not.
She said she was.
She isn't.
Why not?
He's too far away.
Ooh, that's right. He was in Korea.
Vietnam.
I see.
He pauses, then gets another place setting to put on the table.
Now what are you doing?
Setting a place for him.
I don't like it when you do that.
It's vital.
We mustn't wait for him anymore.
Of course we can. I'm not so hungry.
I have no appetite.
He'll eat enough for all of us. He nearly ate us out of house and home, that boy.
Anne's in California. She couldn't possibly get here on time to eat with us.
Oh. What a shame. She doesn't know what she's missing.
Why, thank you.
Anytime. Anytime at all.
He sits down.
Are they all upstairs?
Who?
The children.
Our children live in their own homes.
Even the little ones?
They're all grown up.
I saw little ones this morning.
They're gone now.
Oh.
You know.
Killed.
Won't you try your soup while it's still hot?
He looks at the bowl for a moment. Then he puts his face down near the bowl to sip from it. It takes a while for her to notice this.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Use your spoon.
Where's it gone to?
It's right next to the bowl.
He takes soup spoon and drinks soup.
Delicious.
I told you so.
From now on, I'll take your word for everything.
If I had a penny for every time you told me that. I was joshing you.
Oh,
You think you're the only one who's allowed to kid around?
I thought so.
Maybe I'm just not funny.
Oh, you're funny. That's why I've got to keep my eye on you.
Think I'll take something while you're not looking?
Well, you already have.
I have.
My heart.
Finish your sandwich. How can you finish when you haven't even started? Will you take a bite?
It might be poisoned.
No, it's not.
How do you know?
You have to trust people.
And wind up dead?
He goes back to window.
Is something the matter?
I'd like to go home as soon as possible.
And where are you now?
Well, this place, for crying out loud. How did we get here?
This is our home.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'll have to look around and see if it is. Why would anyone... What were people thinking settling down in a place like this? There's nobody here. It's too cold.
He goes back to the window.
And who gave them permission to paint the grass white?
Are you cold?
Aren't you?
No.
I'm frozen to the bone.
Maybe we can march around the table after lunch. It'll warm you up. Get your knees in the air.
Am I still in the army?
Oh, the war is over.
There was a war?
Oh, Norman, you remember the war.
The big one or the little one? The west one or the east one?
Norman.
The first one or the second one?
There were more than two.
The mustard gas or the napalm
You are
one?
dreadful.
The good one or the dreadful one?
Norman, how can you forget the Second World War?
It slipped my mind.
What am I going to do with you?
Warm me up.
We have to get the blood pumping by moving around a little.
Wouldn't it be easier to crawl into the furnace? Where is everybody? Where are the children?
Which children?
Lucille.
Your sister, she's been gone for years.
Where'd she go?
Would you like some ice cream?
Where's Lucille?
I'd like some ice cream.
This is no good. You're no help at all.
We'll call Joe after lunch. Ask where she is.
Joe who?
Lucille's husband.
What sort of fella is he?
A very nice man.
A gentleman?
Yes.
Good provider?
He's a dentist.
That's terrific.
Have a seat and finish your sandwich while I prepare the ice cream.
Am I allowed?
Yes, you are, after your sandwich.
How are you going to make it?
I'm going to scoop it from the box into a bowl.
Well, that won't take long.
Little boys don't get dessert without eating their supper.
Good thing I'm not a little boy.
You're not.
Nope. Where are they?
Who?
The boys.
They're...
Oh, I know.
You do. Where are they?
Out swimming.
In January.
I told them they wouldn't listen to me.
They're a handful.
I'll say.
The doorbell rings.
That must be them.
Now, why would they ring the bell?
In case some hanky-panky was going on in here. They wouldn't want to witness that.
What sort of hanky-panky?
All sorts of that can go on in a household.
Not our household.
Oh, no, heaven forbid.
Will I answer the door?
If it's the police, don't tell them I'm here.
Oh, you. Don't you budge. I'll be right back.
She exits. He looks for a place to hide, retrieves his hat, goes into closet and shuts the door. She returns to the empty room.
Norman,
He bursts out of the closet.
what's going on?
We're both suspects for a murder.
No one could believe we could commit murder.
Lots of old people commit murder.
She goes to drawer and looks for coupons.
Aggie and Nettie are in the sun parlor. They only have a few minutes to visit.
He puts his hand to his back pocket.
Who stole my wallet?
I did.
Where is it?
You don't need it.
Don't tell me you're taking care of everything.
I try to.
Are you any good at it?
I think so.
The mortgage?
We paid that off years ago.
Delightful. And the heat?
Every month.
And incidentals? We have enough to cover groceries and incidentals?
Plenty.
How did you get all those funds?
I've taken you for every cent you've got.
It was worth it.
Will you sit here for just a few minutes?
Where are you going?
Aggie and Nettie are here. I'll let them know I'm too busy for a visit.
Good idea. I'll create a diversion.
You just sit tight.
Well, you're no fun at all.
She exits. He pats his back pocket for his wallet. A framed family picture on the counter distracts him, unsure of what he sees. Notices his sandwich, takes a bite. He sees his hat, puts it back on. She re-enters.
I gave them my coupons. They're headed to Piggly Wiggly to pick up the flour and the sugar for tomorrow. They miss us at Mass in the mornings. When it warms up, maybe you can watch baseball on television while I do the shopping. Do you think you might?
Norman, mouth still full, looks at Beatrice in alarm.
What's wrong?
Do I spit it out or swallow?
This is new.
Let me see.
He opens his mouth. She looks inside.
You can swallow. Would you like a sip of your tea?
He nods. She hands him his cup. He drinks.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
She unties the apron around his neck.
There.
She wipes his mouth.
Aggie and Nettie stopped by to see how you're feeling.
Fit as a fiddle.
You are.
No. But it's always polite to keep up appearances with company. You think they'd like to play cards?
They left.
How come?
Everyone has things to do, dear. What will we do today?
How about a whole lot of nothing?
Aren't you a lazy bones?
No, it just shows I'm all caught up.
I wish I could say the same.
What's wrong with you?
I'm behind on everything.
What seems to be the problem?
Time slips by me.
You'd better shape up,
I'm doing my best.
because in case you hadn't noticed, I'm an old man.
Oh, I didn't notice.
That's very kind of you. Or maybe you're just not paying attention.
Do you expect me to keep track of everything?
Don't you miss me in uniform?
No.
Or in a suit?
You still wear your suits on Sundays.
Being old isn't so bad.
Oh, dear.
At least they can't draft me. Is this your home?
It's our home.
Where in the world is it?
It's in the town where you and I were both born.
How did we get here?
Oh, I don't remember anymore.
I think we walked.
I don't think it matters.
Oh, yes, it does.
Would you like me to look it up?
Where?
In the genealogy work I did at the bicentennial.
What's that going to tell us?
I thought we could go over our lineage, talk about our families.
Have we ever done that before?
No.
Well, you picked a hell of a time to start all that.
Watch your French.
Oh, for crying out loud, Bea.
I thought we could go over some research about our ancestors.
That's a terrible idea.
How come?
We can't ask them any questions. What are we supposed to get out of it? What's in it for me?
Exercise?
Not for me.
She takes out a 500-piece puzzle and pours it onto the table.
What in the world are you doing?
We can do this together.
What is it?
A battleship.
Doesn't look like much.
That's why we have to put it together. Come on, help me find a corner.
She looks for pieces.
Where did it come from?
The attic. It must have belonged to one of our boys.
How about a smooch?
Listen to me. Tomorrow I have to help the ladies get the cookie sale going.
What will that entail?
Well, after church, we'll go to the school kitchen. You can sit with the newspaper.
Today's newspaper?
Tomorrow's paper.
How will we acquire that?
We'll wait until tomorrow.
I see. Will it have a listing of the lost and wounded?
Please don't, Norman.
I'd like to have a look at that.
You'll find other things to read. Sports.
Basketball?
Sure. Did I tell you I've loaned them all my cookie sheets? So I just have to supervise the crew. With the mixing and the baking and then the boxing.
And what's my role?
You can read the paper.
Allowed?
Oh no. We'll be busy. They have a very nice young girl to watch the ovens this year. That's the most important thing. It's a shame when they burn on the bottom.
You have quite a knack for business. We must have a fortune.
Hardly.
Are the children provided for?
They provide for themselves now.
Excellent. Where are they? I want to commend them all on a job well done. I'm sure they'd all like cookies. I'd certainly like one.
They're for the sale. I don't let any of the girls eat them.
Do I look like a girl? What a shame.
What?
I think we missed Mass.
Oh, we didn't go today because of the snow.
Are we trapped?
Well,
You can tell me.
it's just safer to stay in today. The elderly have to be cautious in the winter, you know.
Who are the elderlies?
Old people like us.
I see. So what did we do?
Exactly what we were supposed to do.
Excellent. Nobody caught us?
Of course not.
Nice work.
I got lucky.
How so?
I got to stay home and take care of you.
So you're the lucky one.
Yes.
May I trade places with you?
You'd rather be with you than with me?
Only if I wanted to go golfing or watch a ball game. Did the fella from Notre Dame come over this morning?
Which one was that?
The point guard.
Why would he be calling us?
Well, he wants us to play on his team.
Since when?
Since he found out I got out of the Army. What position do you play?
Oh, we resigned from the team.
What on earth for?
We decided we were too old.
I'm not dead yet. I'd like to have a word with him.
I'll call him this afternoon.
You do that.
You're hard to please sometimes.
I am?
Yes, you are.
Well, you're no picnic either.
Norman!
Can't you tell when I'm teasing?
How am I supposed to tell?
Well, it's too cold for a picnic. And there aren't any sandwiches.
It's time for your pills.
Pill time!
She goes to the cabinet and returns with her daily assortment of pills. Then she brings 2 cups of milk to the table.
What do I do with these?
Swallow them.
With what?
Your milk.
She takes her pills to demonstrate.
Are you taking my share?
You have your own.
What are yours for?
None of your business.
What are mine for? I suppose that's none of my business either.
He takes his pills but pretends to miss his mouth. He makes sure he has an audience and then does it again.
You should have been on stage.
She holds out his glass of milk. He swallows pills and drinks.
I didn't like the spotlight in my eyes.
Well, you loved cutting ribbons and kissing babies and sitting in a convertible during the parade next to Miss Wisconsin.
I got to do all that?
When you were mayor.
I always wanted to be in public office.
Well, you were.
And what happened?
Oh, well, a lot of things happened. You'll have to be specific.
I want all the details.
You can't expect me to remember all of those.
Was I a success?
Mostly.
Don't be modest.
You were reelected 5 times.
I must have been terrific.
You were well-liked, popular.
So what happened?
Oh, I was busy with the children. You can't expect me to recall what you were doing all that time.
Well, how about that? What happened to the 6th term? Did they kick me out?
They thought you deserved a rest.
Did they think my salary deserved a rest too?
Oh, would you really want to get up at 7 o'clock every morning and go to the office?
Doesn't sound so bad.
And how would you get there?
The chauffeur?
I suppose you mean me.
Are you applying for the job?
I was volunteered.
Do you drive with 2 feet?
No, why do you ask that?
No reason.
You must have had a reason.
My wife used both of hers. Oh, what's next on the agenda?
I wasn't aware you had an agenda.
Did you lose it?
Was it on a piece of paper?
Don't tell me you lost it. How do we expect to get anything accomplished with this lack of leadership? Aren't you going somewhere? Rome?
I have responsibilities here.
The children?
They don't live here anymore.
Why not?
They're all grown up.
How many?
7.
7.
How many did you think we had?
Not that many. That's wonderful. We should get married.
We are married.
We are? Holy Toledo, I'm a lucky guy. Should we retire to the bedroom?
We just had lunch.
But you just said we were married. Why don't we go upstairs?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
You keep asking questions I don't know how to answer.
I'd like to lie down with you.
I have to do the dishes.
Before we go?
Where are we going?
To Italy?
I'm not going.
What about your speech?
I have to give a speech?
Aren't you prepared?
I didn't know I had to give a speech.
For crying out loud, they're all waiting. Good heavens, Bea, you're always making me look foolish.
Well, then what should I say?
Thank you for coming. I'm glad there are so many of you. Because I've hired robbers to move among you.
You can't say that.
Why not?
We can't go. It's going to be dark soon.
Why didn't you tell me you couldn't a long time ago instead of leading me on? I'm not going. There's going to be dope there anyhow, and I can't stand for that. Call them and let them know.
The clothes dryer buzzes in the basement.
Finally.
She goes to the door.
Do you have to leave right this second?
I like to fold the clothes while they're still warm.
If that's how it's done.
I'll be right back.
Oh, I won't be here.
And where are you going?
Rome?
How are you going to get there?
I'm going to walk.
Just wait until I finish. I don't want you to go without me. Let's see what's on television.
She looks at the TV listings.
Golf.
Is Larry playing?
Your brother? Goodness, I don't think so.
Too bad.
That is too bad, isn't it?
She fiddles with the remote.
He never practiced anyhow, always horsing around.
You never horsed around.
Oh no.
After struggling with the remote, she turns on television manually and exits. Sound of golf commentary from the television. Norman sees the pitcher, carries it to the stove. He places the pitcher on the burner and turns the stove on.
Roly-poly, daddy's little fatty.
He goes to closet, exchanges his winter hat for his summer cap, finds a golf shirt in the closet and puts it on over his turtleneck, picks up the golf club, practices. He has a beautiful, if weak, swing. He makes sound effects to go with his shots.
Hopes to grow up to be a man someday. Roly-poly, daddy's little fatty. Hopes to grow up and be a man someday.
Smoke rises from the stove. He stares at the pitcher as smoke begins to rise and fill the kitchen. He doesn't move or say anything. Beatrice enters.
Oh!
She quickly pushes Norman aside. He falls. She throws the pitcher into the sink and runs the water, then turns on the stove hood to dispel the smoke.
Look at this, everything's ruined. How on earth am I supposed to?
She goes to the television and turns it off. She looks at him and sees that he's wearing a sports shirt over his shirt.
Where did you find that shirt?
On me.
On you? It wasn't on you a minute ago.
Bea is speechless. Norman is distraught.
Where's the baby?
What baby?
Our baby!
Sleeping. The baby's sleeping.
Thank God, I was afraid.
Shh. There.
He's asleep?
Yes.
Good boy.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Roly-poly.
Norman.
Where's Peter? Let's wake him up. What a boy, I miss him.
Norman.
Yes.
Listen to me. You know, if that ever happens, if you ever see flames, you must shout out fire as loud as you can.
Somebody did.
Who?
I heard a shout.
You're not hurt, are you?
My feelings.
Who hurt your feelings?
You did.
How did I do that?
I don't remember.
Well, then it couldn't be so bad.
It feels pretty bad.
Oh, Norman.
Where are we?
At home.
Where?
You're with me.
How did that come about?
God gave us to each other.
Very nice of him. How did we get here?
We moved into this house the year we got married.
How could we afford it?
We got a mortgage like everyone else did. And then when Mother died, we paid it off.
Mother's dead.
She's in heaven now. Don't be upset.
Are you sure Mother's dead?
Yes, dear.
Then who are you?
You don't know who I am?
You don't think I know who you are? Prettiest girl I ever saw.
Oh, you.
She takes his cap off, pets his head.
If anything happens where you don't know what's going on, or you're afraid, just yell. Yell help or fire. Will you do that for me?